Nqobile family who lost their mother, Zondeni Nqobile, during the 2025 February floods in Lamontville are to get a house today. The KwaZulu-Natal Human Settlements MEC, Sibonelo Duma, is expected to hand over the keys, and it comes as hundreds of flood victims await permanent housing allocation, with some set to be moved to Montclair in a B&B by the end of the year. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala joins us from there. When we think, Nqobile, about the vast need of the many communities and many families that have been displaced, this is an important step, no doubt going to be welcomed by the family. But just talk to us about those who are still unsettled this morning and the challenge to resettle them, and then the joy of this particular family in finally getting permanent shelter.
Well, Iman, it's definitely a bitter and a sweet moment, really, because for those that are still waiting, and you'll remember that the floods had affected a lot of families, going back as when we saw about 400 people passing away. So the replacing of them and being able to give them home, permanent home, is a project that must assist them in being able to resettle. So for this family, in the Nqobile family, this is obviously a great day for them. But for those families that await to also get their homes in areas like Hammersdale, where we know that the department bought land, as well as looking at what was happening in Montclair, and we saw in Shallcross as well, there were some of the communities that did not want those families to settle there. So this is a breakthrough for the family, but for some still questioning where to go to. But I want to bring in now the MEC to speak to us about this moment in particular, MEC, especially on Mandela Day. It's a great day.
Thank you so much, Nqobile. Let me greet your good self, Iman, on the studio and the viewers at home. The Madiba spirit must always persist, and 67 minutes is always not adequate. But today it's among those fundamental where we just have to extend those who can't afford. I'm sure you know by now the 2022 floods had a serious impact in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Yes, we are prone towards disasters, but we should do something. And yes, we are here in the Nqobile family in particular, in these 37 houses that are going to be handed over, but in particular the Nqobile family. So it is critical for us.
MEC, how many families have been able to get housing, or how many will be benefiting from these houses that we see here in Ilovu, but also the ones that where you had land that was bought in Hammersdale?
A lot has happened since that process, but this is 37. And as you must understand that in Effingham area, there was a transit camp that is going to be closed as a result of this. So 37, 4 or 5 families per household, it means that it is going to change those bits. A paradigm shift. It is going to assist in this area. It is also going to boost that as from now onwards, there is that movement. A lot of parcels have been identified at eThekwini, some of the service side. The issue of Conopia is among those areas. The issue of Shallcross. The Montclair issue that we've just procured recently, which is also going to assist that from now onwards, whenever there is a disaster, we're not going to assist, we're not going to check the private area, but instead going to utilize ours. I think maximum it could even take up to 600 when it's finished. So I think it is going to assist us from now onwards.
And how much money have you spent on all of this? We know that in Montclair, for that B&B, it's about 33 million that you're going to be spending. But for this specifically, and also the other parcels that you've looked at?
It varies. Montclair, it's 33 million has been spent for that lodge, and we're still going to do the assessment. We must design it correctly because it must be habitable at the end of the day. We just don't want to take a chance that because we'll be moving people, it must be in anyhow. So it must be correct. It must be designed thoroughly. Recreational activities, because we'll be having families that will be moving there. Whilst they are there, they must be able to do almost all other matters. So I think we are just doing that. Fortunate enough, we've started the process because we've had the not in my backyard mentality that others are saying that why do you take people from Lamontville to Montclair in Ward 64 because the suburbs, they are coming from township, they might not be correct. It's something that Madiba fought for quite some time. He spent 27 years to attain this freedom. In 1955, the Freedom Charter, the pinnacles of why we had those 10 clauses is to liberate our people, and the issue of housing was among those issues. The issue of security, the issue of tenure, safety and all those things is the issue that we must continue continue to push and push forward. So KwaZulu-Natal is among those areas. eThekwini, 70% of informal settlement is found within eThekwini because of urbanization, as you know. So there is a correlation that people are moving towards where they could just get the job opportunities, and we're just assisting them towards that processes to be attained.
Tomin, thank you very much for your time. I want to show you those houses. These are some of the houses that are being constructed. We're hearing that it's about 37 of them, Iman. That couple of families that are going to be able to move to permanent housing. This is specifically the house that we are going to see the Kabashe family moving in directly to today, which is really great for them. Obviously, they'll finally have shelter that they can call their own. We'll know how many families were devastated, especially with the passing of over 400 people from flood victims. And we saw also some of them, especially the Kabashe family, they never found the mother that passed away because nobody really know where the water swept her to. So they're still looking for her remains. But at this point, they will have a home to go back to, which is not on the flood line.
Nqobile, thanks for that, and they can begin to piece together their lives.